What if I told you the United States didn't just walk into a high-stakes geopolitical standoff? It might be walking out of it on someone else's terms. Yeah, not a movie, not a Netflix docu-series. This is real life, real power, real money, real consequences. And at the center of it all, Donald Trump, possibly getting out-negotiated. Let's break this down. For years, Trump has built his entire political brand on one idea. I'm the deal guy, the guy who writes the art of the deal, the guy who says we're gonna win so much, you'll get tired of winning. But here's the problem. Geopolitics is not real estate. You can't just slap your name on a skyscraper and call it diplomacy. And right now, reports suggest something unexpected. Trump might be ready to accept key Iranian demands. Let that sink in. The same demands that were earlier deal breakers are now back on the table. That's not just negotiation, that's a shift in leverage. So what exactly is happening? Reports indicate that there's a 3 to 5 day window, a critical moment where both sides might finalize a deal. Now in diplomacy, deadlines are like gym memberships. They exist, but nobody really sticks to them. But this one feels different. Why? Because both sides are under pressure. On one side, Iran. On the other, Trump facing domestic criticism, economic pressure, and global scrutiny. And when pressure builds, positions soften. Let's talk about the two biggest sticking points, the ones that could define this entire deal. Number one, sanctions. For years, Iran has been under heavy economic sanctions. That means limited access to global trade, restricted oil exports, economic isolation. If those sanctions are lifted, Iran doesn't just recover, it explodes economically. We are talking oil flowing into global markets, trade partnerships expanding, billions in revenue. That's not a win, that's a power reset. Number two, frozen assets. We're talking about roughly $100 billion in Iranian assets, frozen in international accounts. If that money gets released, that's like giving a country a massive economic stimulus overnight. Imagine waking up and your bank says, hey, remember that money we locked away? Yeah, here's $100 billion. You're not just back in the game. You're suddenly one of the strongest players on the field. Now here's where things get interesting. Traditionally, the US negotiates from a position of strength. But in this situation, it looks like Iran might be holding more cards. Think about it. Strategic control over key oil routes, strong regional alliances, willingness to escalate if needed. And most importantly, they are not desperate. That changes everything. Because in any negotiation, the person who needs the deal less usually wins. Now let's address something that doesn't make headlines as much, but matters a lot. Even during talks, tensions have exactly cooled off. There are reports of ship seizures and military signaling. Now, in normal life, if you are negotiating a deal, you bring a lawyer. In geopolitics, you bring warships. This is what experts call negotiating with leverage. It's basically saying, yeah, we can talk, but don't forget what we are capable of. That's not diplomacy. That's a diplomacy with a loaded backup plan. And here's the twist nobody talks about enough. Trump's biggest problem might be Trump. His negotiation style is aggressive, unpredictable, and often confrontational. That works in business. It even works in politics sometimes. But in international diplomacy, it can backfire. Because countries like Iran operate differently. They prioritize strategic patience, national dignity, long-term positioning. So when you come in loud, fast, and unpredictable, they don't get intimidated, they get cautious. And cautious players don't make desperate deals. Now let's zoom out. This isn't just about Iran. This is about what's happening inside America. That's growing criticism, media questioning decisions, political allies getting uneasy, economic concerns rising. And here's the thing, wars are expensive, not just in money, but in public support. And if there's one thing politicians care about more than strategy, it's approval ratings. So if a deal, even a compromise one, helps stabilize things, it suddenly becomes a lot more attractive. So where does this go from here? There are three realistic scenarios. 1. A deal happens. Both sides compromise. Sanctions are eased. Assets are partially released. Everyone claims victory. Nobody is fully satisfied. Classic diplomacy. 2. Talks collapse. No agreement. Tensions rise again. Possible escalation. This is the worst case scenario. 3. Strategic withdrawal. The US reduces military presence. No formal deal, but tensions ease. Think of it as a soft exit. Not a win, not a loss, just survival. The real question, what nobody's asking clearly, is this deal about peace Or is it about damage control? Because that's the difference. Peace means both sides move forward stronger. Damage control means you're just trying to stop things from getting worse. And right now, this feels a lot more like the second one. Let's talk about the global impact. This isn't just a US-Iran story. This affects global oil prices, international trade, Middle East stability. If sanctions lift, oil supply increases, prices could stabilize or even drop. If tensions rise, markets panic. And in today's world, markets react faster than missiles. At the end of the day, this isn't about who won or lost. It's about how power is shifting. Because for the first time in a long time, it looks like the US might not be setting all the terms. And that changes the game. So the next time someone says, America always controls the deal, just remember, in global politics, sometimes the guy who wrote the book on deals ends up rewriting the ending. So that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel.